say anything on there.
Hold on, I gotta mute this.
What's that? Curtis. At wide receiver, number 14, Grayson Elmquist. At running back, number 17, Travion Jones. At tight end, number 22, Brody Kessler. On the offensive line, number 50, Devin Jorgensen. On the offensive line, number 54, Andrew Vanderteeg. On the offensive line, number 68, Devin Nolan. On the offensive line, number 76, Jacob Rosecrans. And on the offensive line, number 77, Roland Ball.
Players that have got, unfortunately, due to some injuries, sometimes seem to be playing a little more. It's nice to see Roland Ball, sophomore offensive lineman, was announced as starter. Quarter was on your trying to keep track of like Roland Ball is going to be starting from the kick tonight on the offensive or defensive line. They announced the offense.
I'm thinking Roland's going to start on the offensive line tackle. He's a strong young man at the sophomore level. He's been playing very dominant at the JV level. Time for him to get a big show. Here we go.
That's good. That's what it's for. I think you're going to see a lot of unusual, most unusual season, a lot of unusual substitutions and things happening. And here comes number 76, Lake City out there kicking
It's going
off.
to be Rosecrans to kick the ball off
Kicking
tonight.
off, and
I think we're still up with Grayson Elmquist. They still have a high ankle injury. That'll take a few weeks to heal. And Rosecrans, don't be surprised if we go through again tonight like we did last week.
and went almost perfect. I think that was a big part of the game. There. Rosecrans for being a big offensive lineman did a good job of kicking off the three and put it out there. Does it again, put the big foot behind it, totally out
Perfect.
all the receivers into the end zone. I think the Ludington players saw 76 come out there to kick off. He can't kick it very far, and showed them put it right over their head into the end zone. Ludington in their first possession of the game, their own 20-yard line. No time came off the clock there. That was a kickback. That was a
Touchback.
touchback.
Yep, we're good.
And so Ludington will be coming here. And once again, Al probably their standout player, number 30, Luke Monty. I don't know. We've got kind of picking up a different broadcast. So if you hear us get a little distracted, or please let the station know if something's coming in. But we got in our ears. That's with us, man and motion. A little bit of a wildcat look.
There you go.
Sweep
There's
off
the
to the
edge.
right side, and there is. And last week, you talked a lot about the mesh point, Steve, and I think tonight we're going to be talking a lot about the edge.
We're not going to talk about any of that point tonight. This is all going to be on the edge, and it's going to be our cornerbacks and our outside linebackers playing a good game and setting that edge and forcing it back inside. That was a great job that by that outside linebacker. They did a great job with that.
No game. Second and 20-yard line. Half minutes left to go in the first quarter. Ludington, I expect them to be in shotgun most of the night. Look a lot like Pine River looked last week. This is straight up quarterback sneak. It's not a sneak. It's a big run, and you've got a ton of yardage down the right sideline into Lake City territory. And he's dragged down at about the 20-yard line. Nice touchdown save tackle there. I believe that was number 20 from Lake City. A huge run from the Lake City quarterback all the way down to the 20-yard line. That's called flipping the field right there. You're going to be at about the 23-yard line. 11 to go. London in the second play of the game, straight first in a huge play. They did not get into the end zone. It was a straight up quarterback sneak, and I believe that was Gilchrist. My eyes serve me right. Doing the duties there, Nathan Gilchrist, the London quarterback. Talking to people, can't get a straight answer on who the quarterback was even going to be, and the quarterback goes straight up the middle for virtually no gain there. So good stout play in the middle of the defense there by Lake City.
Yeah, that's a good job right there by the senior linebacker Devin Jorgensen and reading his keys and stepping up into the A gap, making a good stick on that kid. And got to stay disciplined and keep an eye on that quarterback, even though their starter's not playing, their season's not broke. So
No.
we got to keep an eye on them.
Once again, I talked to, try to do as much scouting, with my limited resources, and I could not get a straight answer from anybody on who that quarterback was going to be. So we're going to be playing a little bit of a guessing game tonight. A halfback sweep here, cuts it back with the middle, a little bit of room to run there. I believe that was Blake Benson, the senior slot back, coming out of the running back position. So he came deeper in motion. He's going to pick up probably about 6 or 7 there, setting up a 3rd and 2.
That's a great job by Gabe Bostic. That's what we need to see. We've seen him to step up and force that ball back inside to Vanderteek and to Ferguson, and he did his job, and that's what we need to do. We can't let them get on the edge. We got to force them in. That's a great job.
3rd and 2 from the 15-yard line. Ludington into red zone territory. Don't know anything about a kicker. We'll wait and see. Ludington's in the shotgun. Motion. Oh, snap. Is fielded and gang tackled. A sea of red.
That's a good job. That's Gabe Bostic. That's Vanderteek. That's Stichtel, and that is Ferguson. So great job by the defense. Like last week, Ben. Don't break.
Yep, exactly. Definition of don't break. Clock continues to run with 9:20 left to go in the first quarter, and we will have a huge early play for your Lake City Trojan defense. Once again, a 4th and 4 from the 17-yard line. No signs of a field goal here from Ludington. Typical formation here. Quarterback in the shotgun. Benson out.
We're gonna have a flag.
Right, and a flag comes in to stop it. Stephen Weiner appears to be the main quarterback for Lake City or Ludington 13, but we had a flag.
That's going to be on the Ludington Orioles. That's going to back them up, and that's going to make our defense a little happy right there. And Coach Kent's got a smile on his face. I can't see his face, but I know he's smiling.
We got a 4th and 9 now. Definite advantage now for your Lake City Trojan defense. And so Weinert is in the shotgun, and we apologize for the pauses there, trying to figure out we're hearing noises everywhere in the booth here tonight. So Weinert is going to put it up, goes
Great
over the
play.
middle, and a nice play there by Bradley Seeger coming in. He had a lot of contact, but no penalty was called. I think he timed it just right. And so excellent play there. Bradley Seeger's done a good job of playing. Great safety definition of center field defense there. Seeger steps in front of that pass and knocks it away. Your Trojans for Ludington over on down. So they will start. Your Trojans will start their first drive of the game, 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. What did you see on that play?
Just a great play by a great kid. He just set on the ball, asked him to throw it, and then broke on the ball. He's a good kid. He's a point guard, and he's a smart kid. And battling the ACL last year was a great thing to have him back. He just made a great play.
Gavin Bisball, Travion Jones up the
middle.
middle.
No, that's not going to be Travion. I think that's going to be Becker.
All right.
Yeah, Becker's back.
7 and 17.
Oh, no, you're right.
Travion Jones.
Yeah, that's my glasses. My fault.
Oh, we'll take turns on this rainy night. Here comes Lake City tonight playing huddle. Bisball in the shotgun, so it's going to come at you a little quicker than what we're used to. Hand off to Jones off the left side now. He's got a lot of room to run. Travion Jones puts it into high gear. He's going to pick up a first down. That is a first down. Classic Chevrolet, almost leading classic. We have a hold on the play, however. I think we're going to have a hold.
We have 3 flags on the play right now. I think we're going to have a hold on the edge where we got the edge on that, but then we got 2 more flags also.
And it came really late, but it looks like that's the only signal we can get. I thought we might be
all 3 teams on Lake City. So that's going to back us up a little bit. But it's good to see that we're establishing the line scrimmage again, just like last week.
And here comes Lake City out of the huddle quickly, ready to run a play. The officials haven't marked it off yet.
Smith is anxious.
Yes, playing with pace. I think we're trying to counter the speed that likes to play with. This should be probably a 2nd and 16 thing. Oh no, maybe back to the original.
2nd and 14. Here we go.
2nd and 14. This ball in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off again. Nothing doing this time up the middle. Did not get up by that. But the defense rose up and big and it's going to drop Lake City to that loss. So we're going to have a third very long 8:08 left to go in the first quarter. And Coach Smith is sticking to the script. They're not even huddling up for this big third. Ball in the shotgun. I think this is the first time I've seen such quick pace here from the Trojans.
Yeah, it's new.
And it hands it off on 3rd and very long. I think that was Jones again up the middle, and Jones is going to pick a positive yardage, and we'll see what Coach Smith does here with this pace.
I think he'll probably punt and trust his defense because the defense has been playing well the last couple of weeks. And I like it that not getting away from his run game. He's going to stay with his plan right now. Hey, remember the first quarter last week? Our offensive line a little bit trying to get things going, but once they got it going, man, we dominated it, and hopefully they do that again tonight.
And I agree with you. I think it was a good debate by Coach Smith. Had the pregame intel that they were going to try and dominate the line of scrimmage, play offensive line football. That's what they did there. They just went 4 straight plays. They didn't care where they were on the down and distance. And I think that's Coach Smith trying to establish the tone early on. We will have a punt. Only a 4th and 2. So we'll see if they maybe try to drop Ludington out. They didn't. Gardner's going to punt it away. Good punt.
Great punt.
Just the Ludington receiver to retreat a little, but he outkicked the coverage maybe a little bit there. Ludington's got a little bit of room to run there. Getting almost up the midfield there about the 43-yard line. So a nice return there from Ludington. The receiver from Ludington actually retrieved that ball and had a good return. They're going to start on decent field position for the Orioles at about the 43-yard line. 8.5 minutes to go in the game. We are all at 0. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line from the Ludington Orioles. Both teams kind of traded some offensive punches there. The defenses bended, did not break. And Stephen Weiner, going to come in. Jet
Great
sweep
job.
here. Nice play defensively. Schickle was out there almost before the ball was even handed off to Benson, I believe that was. Schickle dropped all by himself. No help on that one.
Nope, absolutely did his job. Contain the outside, keep that outside arm free, shut all your blockers on the inside arm, and he played that.
2nd 13. Back up the floor a little more. 2nd 13 from their own 39-yard line. Weiner waits for that snap. Well, now Weiner's actually in motion, so this is a wildcat look here. They faked it to Weiner. Quarterback makes a few tackles there, and once again, we'll have to follow the bouncing ball here on the quarterback. He did that in sophomore Chase Hacker, who broke a few tackles there. They Weiner with the quarterback most of the night in motion. So I've never had a chance to see Menominee play, but I imagine this is kind of similar to straightway to single wing, where you never know who the quarterback is going to be.
Or where the ball is going to go. Like exact same look. Coach kept playing the basic 4-3 defense tonight. He's done a Jurgits in there that caused the guy to bounce outside, and then Kiwi and Bots were there to make the tackle on the outside. So the Lakeview defense is playing well right now.
So here we are with 3rd and 8. Impressive play by Blake. Only got it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Here's another stunt.
And now Hacker's going to roll out to the right, and he's going to pass it, and he falls incomplete to the right side. I don't think we're going to see a lot aerial tonight with the rain heavy and thick here, and that was Chase Hacker, the sophomore quarterback, rolling out to his right. Ludington have a 4th and 8 now, and we'll see what type of appetite for risk Ludington head coach Charlie Gunsel has. I think he most likely will punt it. And so 4th and 8, read it out for your Lake City defense, not aided by any penalty. Big play by Elliott. Very impressive defensive drive there, or at the stand, I should say, by your Lake City defense. It's going to force Ludington to point on the 44-yard line. Once they had fairly good field position.
Yes, they did, and that's a great point you brought up just a second ago. You probably aren't going to see a lot of passing tonight, so that offensive line that wants to dominate this game is going to be the team that's going to win the game.
And punt, fire, poison, whatever you want to call it, that probably went higher in the air than it did in distance. I'm going to call it about a 15-yard punt with about 6 yards of hang time, 6 seconds of hang time. So a huge flip the field play for your Lake City Chargers. Once again, I think with the slick conditions, he looks like a pretty good punter. He got it so far up in the air, but probably only traveled 15 yards. And Lake City, probably less than that. Lake City's going to start right at midfield. So
yep, and we're going to lean on that offensive line. Here we go. We got trips to the right, split to the left, and we got one back in the backfield. Here we go.
And I would think already in midfield, they'll probably hardly a 4-down territory. Hand off to the right side. A lot of room to run here. Breaks the tackle. I believe that's Travion Jones.
That's Travion Jones. That's a great block on the edge by our offensive line. That's exactly what we need. Look at the great.
I think we could have fumble on making the decision from Ludington, of course, is pointing. If it was a fumble, it was late.
I think they called it
that. First down. Classic Chevrolet. All roads lead to classic. Proctors moved those chains. I think that was either Becker or Jones, the 7 or the 17, trying to hone in on.
Yep, we got Trip
to the right, one out to the left.
He's going to spread him and try to lean on that offensive line. What do you think?
I think you're right. We haven't seen the pass yet. This is Travion Jones. Fairly certain about that. Right up the middle. stuffed in the middle, but he did get positive yards there. As you've said many times tonight, they're not on that offensive
I think
line.
they got 4 there, 4 or 5.
Yep.
So
It didn't look like much, but the offensive line is doing their job, doing their work.
Travion's out now, and I didn't get the number that came. So I might check at that. But now in the backfield,
I want to think that's Blair.
it is. I think it might be Blair.
Dane Blair, sophomore running back, is now in. It's been mostly Travion Jones. 4.5 minutes as the clock continues to run. Blair had a little bit of a steam there. He's going to get close to the sticks. It was 2nd and 7. So we'll have a third manageable. Once again, no huddle. The plays are coming.
That's 28. I don't know who that is. Oh, might have to get us on your program.
5-quarter rule with the play with the MHSA has been wreaking havoc on us all year. You've got to split out to the left or hand off jet sweep to the left. It really doesn't get much there. It was a 3rd and 5. So it's going to be a 4th and fairly short here.
Blair's checking in now.
Yep. 4th and
4th and about 5.
Clock's going to continue to run. So a big play here on a 34-yard line.
You said it was 4-down territory.
Yep. Here we go. So big play. One of the biggest plays early on here for Lake City offense. They are on the Ludington 34-yard line. They have very good.
I'll call it for you.
With
Toss
3.5
right.
minutes. A little bit of force snap here and a little toss left, I would guess.
Yeah, a little pass left. Good.
I'm going to guess, with it being on the far side of the field, I'm going to go with Brody Gothard, who's if I'm right here. There wasn't much to that play. It was just snap his ball. He kind of pulled the snap together. And that is another classic AA. All roads lead to classic. Move those tanks first down to the 20-yard line. So just out of red zone territory. 3:14 in the clock running. And your Trojans are in business here.
That's a good pass by Bisbal and a good job settling down by Gothard to catch that pass in front of the linebackers.
Right on the numbers. 4 wide this time. Stretch it out wide to the right. Not a ton of room to run there. Maybe 3 or 4 yards there.
And then Blair on the carry on the outside. We just didn't steal the edge there. And their linebackers in their corner came up really quick and made a good play. So that's a good job by that Ludington defense. So.
I haven't looked anything on the scoreboard, so I think we're looking in about 2 yards. 2nd and 8, 21-yard line. So just outside of the edge of red zone territory. 2:33 to go. Clock continues to run as Blair was tackled inbounds. Bisbal in the shotgun now. 2nd and 8. 3 wide to the right. That's a little bit of a different look. Counter play. Spin move. Running back refusing to going down and just really chugging those legs. And I believe that was Travion Jones who refused to go down there. He never did go down. The play was whistled dead. The official refused to spot him. You're going to have 3rd and 2 now from the 15-yard line. Nice play by Travion Jones. 3 wide to the left, 1 back. Bisbal takes the snap and a ton of room to run. What a play there by the Ludington defense. You have to be complimentary to your opponent sometimes. Travion Jones, look, I was getting ready. You heard my voice. I was going to call it a touchdown. And the Ludington linebacker just pounced on Travion Jones. Tackled down. I have not seen a signal yet, and that is a first down. So I thought got at least 3 or 4.
That's a good thing to see. That offensive line opened up that big. It was my car through that hole, but our offensive line started took them a little while last week, but they're starting to get on their blocks and sustaining blocks until the and that's a good thing for us.
And then as a classic Chevrolet, move those chains. All lead to classic. Your Trojan on the 13-yard line. 1:12 left to go. Bisbal's going to put it up. It's going to be batted down quickly by the big Ludington lineman. Mitchell Sanborn is who I'm going to give that to. And that was the simple play they did to get that first down. They were just trying to get the quick little slant there.
Just a little quick little tight end pop pass, but right there he just got a little anxious. He had to let those guys clear, and he didn't let them clear. But that's okay. We got a 2nd and 10, and we're still in business.
109. Hand off to the right side. Not much doing there on 2nd and 10. Can get a first down inside for a touchdown with it being on the 13-yard line.
And we're looking at about 3rd and 9 now.
3rd and 9, most definitely 3rd down territory. We're trying to figure out if Grayson Elmquist was out there tonight. Probably field goal territory, but I don't know if Coach Smith would do what conditions tonight.
No, he's going to get sick.
Trips to the left, 1 wide to the right. Bisbal with 1 back next to him. 3rd and 10. Bisbal's going to go to that person on the right. He was open. And once again, it's a difficult condition to throw in. And that slant, I believe they were trying to get it to.
That was Gabe Artist, and that's a good pass. It's a good play. Gabe's just got to understand when it's wet out. They're taught to catch with their hands, but when it's wet out, you got to catch with your hands and your chest, or you bring it in your chest. And that's Gabe. Good pass, good route.
And so Ludington's taking a page out of Lake City defense. Hopefully we can capitalize here. They are bending but not breaking as we have had no gain here. We got down to the 13-yard line. That's why we have a huge 4th and 10, 31 seconds left to go. Bisball in the shotgun, hands it off to Jones, and nothing doing there. So the Ludington defense rises up and forces Lake City to turn it over on down. So a lot of positives that we could take offensively there from Lake City, but they kind of gave us a taste of our own medicine there. Where they that was the definition of bend but not break. Your Trojans marched right down to the 13-yard line. But once they got there, it was 4 and out. So with 26 seconds left, the Royals take over on downs, 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. 26 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Ludington's going 4 wide, back in motion.
Quarterback.
Weiner will keep it himself, tries to break a few tackles, but nothing doing there.
Great job on the defensive end there by Chris Park, and a great fill by Devin Jurgensen. So our kids are playing defense. They are playing discipline tonight and playing good defense. They're doing exactly what Coach Kent talked to them all week.
And that discipline's a good word because I try to paint a picture for the people at home. This Ludington, there's a lot of misdirection, a lot of motion.
They want to confuse you.
And players are saying the Lake City Trojans are staying home tonight, and that is why we are all tied up at 0 here at the end of the first quarter. We will take a full 1-minute break. And welcome back, Trojan Nation, to a rainy, cloudy, dreary night here at Lake City Trojan Stadium. The score is 0-0 as we get ready to start the second quarter of play here on 93.7 FM The Ticket. It has been a classic bend but don't break from both teams tonight, which is why we're sitting here at 0-0. Both teams have accumulated some decent yards, but we have been very impressed with the discipline of your Lake City defenses, what we were talking about going into break. Just as soon as I said that, we almost jumped offside there, but that defense continues to hold their line. He's going to put it up. It's going deep for a man, and
That's a great
almost
play.
intercepted.
Great play. Gabriel Artist, step for step with that kid, meaning I'm in phase. That means I can touch his hip and still make a play on the ball, and he played that perfect. Great play by Gabriel
I think
Artist.
that was Artist and the center fielder Seeger getting in there, and Ludington went deep, which is probably like I said, I don't think we're going to see a lot through the air tonight because of the conditions, but I think Coach Gunsel from Ludington tried to roll the dice and catch Lake City napping a little bit to start that second quarter. It came up empty as Gabriel Artist and Bradley Seeger were back there to knock that ball away, and Artist almost had what would have been a huge interception to start the second quarter. 11:54 to go here. Weinert's going to drop back to pass. A little bit of a screen action here, and there's a lot of room there for Ludington to run. They are going to pick up what I believe will be their second first down of the night.
Yeah, well-designed play right there by the Ludington coaching staff.
Yep, Ludington Lake City we got a lot of L's tonight. I better watch it here, but looked like Lake City was bringing a little bit of pressure to start that second quarter, and I think the little chess game that you get sometime, that was a little bit of a jailbreak screen there off to the right, and Ludington is up to the 27-yard line. Jet sweep here. Weiner keeps. Oh no, they tricked me there. That was the receiver, and that is Benson who goes out there.
That's a good job by our strong safety, Bradley Seeger. Reading that it's run, 2 back pedals, stuck his foot in the ground and came up and filled that area where that linebacker was supposed to be. So that's a great play for a kid playing safety to make it so it's only about a 4-yard gain.
Yep, and that'll be a 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5. Scoreboard still says 17, but I'm going to say Ludington's on about the 30-yard line. And so it's a 2nd and 5 with 11 minutes left to go in the first half. Weiner in the shotgun from Ludington. Handoff to Weiner. Actually, they switch off quarterbacks a lot, so now this is Weiner playing running back, getting positive gain on that 2nd down play, but not a first down. So a nice play defensively there by your Trojans.
That's a good job by Schichtel forcing it back inside so Vander Teague and Jurgensen could make the tackle along with Gabe Bosick. So we're setting the edge and forcing everything back inside. So that's what Coach Kent wanted to happen tonight. So we can keep them from not getting outside. I think we're going to be okay.
Threes all the way across the scoreboard. They are on the 33-yard line, and it is a 3rd and 3 in there on Ludington territory. So this is a big play for your Lake City defense. See if they can force Ludington to a punt. And Weiner keeps it there, and he's got a ton of room to run down the right side, and he's going to put it in gear and go down that side. And actually, that's Hackert. And Hackert is going to pick up about a 30, 40-yard gain there on a 3rd and 3 deep into Lake City territory. Clock will stop with 10-11 to go, and Ludington will be on about the 25-yard line. That's the 2nd time we've seen that little quarterback sneak just kind of gash the Lake City defense off to the right. And so that's about the only thing that's worked tonight for Ludington. But
and what's causing that is what they're doing is they're faking to the dive guy, and our defensive ends are going down on the dive guy, and that's not their responsibility. Their responsibility is to stay with that quarterback, but they just want to hit the guy with the ball, and they need to do their keys.
So 1st and 10 from the Lake City 27-yard line. Once again, that was a huge gain for Ludington. Hackert's going to fake it again. He breaks a few tackles here, gets some positive gains here. Not a first down, probably a gain of 4 or 5, but tackled inbounds, and the clock will continue to run with 9.5 minutes to go. But Ludington is most definitely in 4-down territory now.
They're leaning on their offensive line
yes,
now,
they are
aren't
too.
they?
And as we've said, they're a Division IV school, and they've got some big boys out there. So this is, this rain and these conditions, these, use any cliche you want. This is a game for the big uglies. This is going to be who can dominate this line of scrimmage and get what they want, because I don't think there's going to be a lot of passing tonight. 9:08 to go in the first half. 2nd and 3. Weinert is going to keep it himself, and nice defensive play there. I don't know if it's going to be a first down, but that was similar to that Travion Jones play where the quarterback snuck through there, and there was a lot of room to run, but he was tackled very quickly by the Lake City.
Yeah, that was a great job by Bosick stepping up and filling his gap like he's supposed to and making a good tackle, form tackles, hat on hat, and he did a great job.
And that was such a good play that it will set up a 3rd and 1. They did not get the first down there on the 18-yard line, Lake City, so it's most definitely 4-down territory. But we have a 3rd and 1. We've seen Ludington, with this shotgun, flub away a few plays. Maybe we can do that. And just as soon as I say that, it's a huge first down. Big gang tackle. And that could have went for a lot more off the right side, but the Lake City Trojan defense did a good job of slowing that down. But that will be a Ludington Oriole first down with 8:18 to go. They are inside red zone territory. They're on the 15-yard line, so it'll be a 1st and 10. Ludington can get a first down inside or prior to scoring a touchdown. We hope for a turnover. We hope for a 4 and out here from your Trojan defense. And they've already done it once tonight. So 8 minutes about even to go here. Weiner in the shotgun, or the Hackert, excuse me, and that is the Lake City defense rising up and dropping Hackert for a huge loss there. I shouldn't say huge, probably a 2 or 3 yard loss, but it was a huge play by your Lake City Trojan defense.
Any loss down at this point of the field is a huge loss, and that's just because the kids played disciplined and did what they were supposed to. Schichtel went to the quarterback like he was supposed to. Jurgensen went to the dive guy, and everybody else rallied to make the tackle. So if we stay disciplined, we're going to be okay.
So 2nd and 11 now with 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Seeing a lot more Hackert, Chase Hackert, sophomore quarterback from Ludington. He fakes a handoff and did not fake the handoff, did not fake anybody out as the Trojans there. We didn't say we were going to say a lot tonight, but that was a mesh point tackle.
That was
right
actually
at the point of the handoff.
I learned a little bit last week. That was a great play by Park and by Vanderteek. Coach Kent rolled the dice and he blew both linebackers, one in the A gap, one in the B gap, and they met the fullback right at 2-yard loss. So that was awesome.
Rolling the dice came up big because now we have a 3rd and 13, 6:52 left to go in the first half. The score is 0-0. Big play here for your Trojan defense. 3rd and 13, and they are going to put it up because they have to. They try to get a man on a little bit of a wheel route there. They get him on the right side. It's not going to be a first down, but it is going to set up a 4th and rather short here. So this is probably the early play of the game here for the Lake City defense. They're going to call it about a 4th and 5.
Yeah, that was a well-designed play right there by
Yep.
Ludington. They ran everybody off deep. They slipped a tight end out in behind the linebackers, and that was a good play by our safety to come up and make that tackle, forcing them into 4th and 5. So I think we got them right where we want them.
Yep. And this is, if you're that person, we got some cowbells, we got some keys here tonight. This is the fans would be on their feet in normal circumstances, and they still are here tonight. 6:05 to go. Huge play. 4th and 5 from the 10-yard line. We'll see if the Trojan defense can dial something
That's
up.
going to be
And that's going to be a false start on the big Ludington right tackle. And we will take that, and we will be looking at a 4th and 10 now. And that was almost, looked like Lake City was going to bring the house there, and I think that
You're absolutely correct. We had 2 linebackers step up in that gap and show blitz, and it kind of scared the young man, and he jumped a little early. I'd be scared too if Vander Teague and Park were coming at me.
Yeah, I don't blame him. So 5:52 to go. We now have a 4th and 10. That makes us down in distance a little more manageable. 4 wide for Ludington, 1 back next to the quarterback. And they're going to pass because that's really their only option here.
That's a fumble.
And that's a fumble. And either way you want to slice it, everybody's running around. We're getting the ball.
Oh, they're going to call an incomplete pass, but it doesn't matter because
Doesn't really
it's our
matter.
ball.
We are getting the ball. 4th and 5 turns into a 1st and 10 from about the 15-yard line from your Lake City Trojans. I think it's going to be even further out depending on where they spot it here. They are going to move it back to the original line of scrimmage and call it an incomplete
Defense
pass.
did their job again.
Yep. And we said it last week, and we're saying it again this week. Bend, but don't break.
I think we talked bend, but don't break and mesh point all last week. I think that's the only terms we use.
Yep, and we are seeing setting the edge tonight, and still bend, but don't break. But that I can't say it enough. That was a huge stand by the Lake City defense.
Absolutely.
It was not looking real good as they were kind of marching down the field there and getting into the red zone. And now they'll start 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Bisball, this is dangerous. A little bit of a pitch play, goes to the ground, kind of a mishandled option snap.
Yeah, that was a mishandled toss to Travion Jones, but what Travion was doing is instead of looking the ball into his hands, he had his eyes up looking to see who was going to come tackle him. First catch it, tuck it, and then get upfield.
And so we're continuing to see no huddle here, so it comes a little fast and furious here. And Bisball in the shotgun, 3 wide to the right. They go up top to Schichtel, off of Schichtel's hands. Once again, it's going to be a very difficult night to pass, and so we're deep in our own territory now after the incomplete pass off of Elliott Schichtel's hands. We got a 3rd and 15, so it's coming fast and furious with the no huddle here. And 3rd and 15, not a very advantageous down and distance for your Trojans if we are forced to punt, and we're hoping for a classic Chevrolet first down. But
and that was a good play call.
Yeah,
and Elliott
was open.
Elliott wishes he had that play over again because he'd squeeze that one. He was wide open and just went through his hands.
And sometimes you see coaches, and maybe they just go right back to that well. But it is 3rd and 15 now from the 10-yard line, deep in their own territory. Bisball's going to put it up. There's a deep zone, and oh my goodness, you don't see that every day. It is. He threw it right into the hands of the defensive lineman. I'm going to call Mitchell. I'm going to call actually Joe Mosqueda, number 51. Bisball went up to throw it, and as you know, Gavin, he's about 6'6". And so that defensive lineman must be pretty tall himself to get up there and grab it. So
yeah, that's an unfortunate chain of events there. Gavin is supposed to let that defensive guy come a little closer to him, and he got a little anxious and threw the ball a little early. Sophomore quarterback, he's still learning, and he'll fix that mistake. But we're okay. Got to score to win anyway.
But once again, that's a touchdown for the Ludington Orioles off of a very unusual play. He just tried to launch a little lift pass for a screen. And the defense went right into the defensive lineman's hands, and he took it in.
Good stand by the Trojans, though.
Two-point
conversion go.
Fails. So once again, some fast and furious action here. We had basically an interception fall into the end zone. I'm going to call it for Joe Mosqueda. The junior defensive lineman for Ludington fell into the end zone. Gets Ludington's first score of the night to make it 6-0 with 5 minutes left to go. The 2-point conversion failed as Hacker tried to go up the middle. And so early on here, your Trojans have taken after a huge defensive stand, got him the ball. They kind of gifted it right back to Ludington, and literally Ludington fell into the end zone to take a 6-0 lead. 2-point conversion failed. So with 5 minutes left to go in the game, in the first half, excuse me, the score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0. We do have an injured Trojan out on the field. Doesn't seem to be too serious, but it's going to hold up the kick here. And so
That's the Park boy.
and he missed last week, so it's good to see him back out here this week. But maybe still
Last week he missed with a sternum. I think this week that looks like a cramp.
Yeah, hopefully, cramps stink, but it's funny as announcers or as fans we're like, oh, it's just a cramp, and everybody breathes a sigh of relief, but they still hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, he's
And
pretty.
they
Hey,
don't
he's a
usually
tough kid. He's from Pioneer, man.
Yeah.
He's Pioneer. He's like a stump jumper. He'll be okay.
And so, a little bit of a delayed kickoff here. The Dropkick Murphys are playing, and we are ready to go here as the Trojans need to answer back as they've just fallen to a 6-0 deficit here. Take time here to remind some fans listening at home, we are streaming 93.7fmtheticket.com. That is sponsored by Lake City Family Pharmacy. Lake City Family Pharmacy serving you on a personal level. So we thank you for doing that. We also, very shortly after games in the weekend, if you missed the game and you want to get the blow-by-blow, we are podcasting these games on our station website. A mishandled kickoff had a chance to be very dangerous, but it was fielded on these wet conditions and knocked out of bounds. And Lake City will be starting here in about the 23-yard line with 4:52 to go in the first half. Once again, trailing 6-0 on a very unfortunate turnover. As sophomore or junior quarterback Gavin Bisbal threw it into the Ludington defender's hands, and he just literally fell into the end zone. And so Lake City will be looking to answer here. They're going to say they're on about the 18-yard line, so not the best field position here coming off that kick. Once again, it was a mishandled kick, and I feel like we've said that a lot tonight. Once again, it is very rainy, wet, and cold. 4:32 to go, 4:52 to go, excuse me. Bisbal's in the shotgun. The swing play that was a little bit of a trouble. That last play turns out good this time, so I think Coach Smith really wanted to run that play. It's just a little sweep, I guess is what I'll call it, an option sweep out to Travion Jones, and that is a first down. Classic Chevrolet, all roads lead to Classic. Move those chains. That's
Offensive line
Travion
did a
Jones.
good job sealing the edge, and that was a good job by Travion catching the ball first and then getting upfield.
And I'd take my hat off to Coach Smith there. I think that's just, that shows that you really believe in your players. To go back to a play that was so problematic a second ago and to say, I believe in you, I think we can do it. And I got the first down there. That was a huge game. We're up to the 30-yard line. And off of that first down play, going no huddle all night. So if you're missing some plays here and there, that's because they're coming very fast. Bisbal went for a quick little slant there. Well defended there by Ludington. There really wasn't much doing there on the right side.
No, good play offensively, good play defensively.
4:33 to go in the first half. The score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0. 2nd and 10 now from the Lake City 30-yard line. High snap, a nice handoff there, and a fumble. And I think we're going to say that a lot.
Bisbal got back on that.
Yeah, and so all said and done, it's going to be about a 3 or 4 yard gain, I think here. Travion Jones did have a huge hole there and was starting to run to some space, but got tackled, and the ball went on the ground and then went back 3 or 4 yards. And so now we're going to have a 3rd and 8 with 4:12 left to go. And so kind of some crazy fast-paced action there. Bisbal came back to get it after being the quarterback, and now we've got a 3rd and 8. And they wanted to go for the sweep. It was well defended. Bisbal probably did a good decision to keep it himself there. And now kind of a difficult decision for Coach Smith here. This is
not going to be difficult. I think he's going to punt the ball and rely on his defense. His defense hasn't even given up any points tonight.
That's true. That's true. That one point was pretty much a giveaway. We hate to say that.
You got to punt this one away, I would think.
But 4th and 5 from their own 35-yard line.
A smart play by Gavin right there.
Yeah, it really was.
Had a linebacker blitz, and if he'd have tossed that would have been a disaster, and he just made a great play and got what he could get out of it.
And once again, that's kind of what he did to give him the point. So once again, it shows you this young team is learning here. Just a possession earlier, he was getting ready to shovel it off, and this time he didn't, kept it himself, lived to fight another day. And 4th and 5, it looks like they're going to punt it away. I'm always cognizant with high school kids on 4th and 5. Jump here. Drawing off sides would get the first down, but Lake City just goes for a conventional snap. This is a big pop-up punt here. And It's going to not go very far, but it's going to be down at about the 47-yard line. So Ludington will get good field position here off a short punt by Lake City. 2:57 left to go in the first half. The score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0. So this is a big possession here for the Lake City Trojan defense. You don't want to go down 2 scores here. I'm trying to remember who. I think Ludington got the ball to receive, so I think Lake City will get the ball to start the second half.
Yep, we just have to have a good defensive stance here, get the ball back to our offense, try to put one in before halftime.
But Ludington starting on the 47-yard line.
Jet sweep, they got the edge.
Did get the edge.
But that's a good job of rallying by Lake City. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys tackling at the football. That's good. That's good pursuit. That's what Coach Kent's talking about. Not one guy making the tackle, but 4 or 5. And that was a good job by Seeger, Vanderteeg, Gothard, Artis.
Yep.
Can't say all their names because there were so many there. Park also. So that was a good job rallying to the ball.
And that'll set up a 2nd and 5. And as Steve said, that could have been a lot worse. There was a lot of room to run for senior slot receiver Kyle Barnett. So 2:21 to go. Ludington's in the shotgun. Here comes the receiver in motion. Straight up the middle by Hackert. They faked it to the jet sweep. The Weiner. They're going Weiner to Hackert. Weiner to Hackert. This time to Hackert. Hackert goes up the middle, gets close to the first down, but not going to get it. That was a nice play by the Lake City defense.
Oh, that's a great job by our Lake City defense. And what they were trying to do there is they were trying to pretend they were going to run right, and they pulled their guards left. But both of our inside linebackers read exactly what they were taught to read. They read that guard, and they were both standing there to make the stop on the play. So they weren't confused that time. They did exactly what they were taught throughout the week.
So just into Lake City territory, 3rd and 3, huge play. 1:43 left to go in the first half. Weiner goes in motion.
Perfect.
Nice play. The quarterback went down, the receiver went down. Who had the ball, Steve? I can't tell.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, they ran jet sweep that time right there, and Vanderteek stunned it, and he kept his eyes on the quarterback, tackled the quarterback for a 5-yard loss. They handed it off to the left, and Schechtel did his job, kept his outside arm free, and stopped the jet sweep for no gain. It's going to be 4th down and 6, and they're going to punt the ball away, and that's exactly what we needed.
Huge defensive stand, and if I painted that picture for you, nobody was open on that. If the quarterback would have kept it, he would have been dropped. If the running back would have kept it, they were both dropped. Somebody was dropped, and your Trojans are getting the ball with 4th and 6. 1:03 left to go. Here comes a punt. Offsides will not get a first down. See if Lake City brings a little more pressure here. They don't. Better punt this time from the Ludington punter. That was a little low.
He touched that.
The ball is going to go into the end zone.
That's a safety.
And it's going to be a touchback.
That's a safety. He touched it.
If you can hear on the air, the Ludington coaches were hoping for a safety. The coaching staff's jumping up and down on the other side.
I think that's probably what's going to be called because our punt returner touched that ball in the field of play on the 10-yard line. That ball bounded into the end zone, and he landed on it. So that means that should be a safety. But I don't know if they're going to call a muff punt or what they're going to call. But this will be a big decision.
Big officials conference here. They're standing around there. It's still. Well, they've already put up the 2 there. It is 8-0. So that is kind of disaster happening there. So let's try and unpack it here. Your Trojan receiver went back to field the punt. He missed it, but he touched it. And because he touched it, it was a live ball. He fielded it in the end zone and fell on it. And since he touched it in bounds, when the Ludington defender touched him down in the end zone, it is a safety. So we got a lot of official conferencing going on here. But I think with 46 seconds left to go, a 6 and an 8 look pretty similar on this digital screen.
I think they might reverse that call, and I think they're going to say he muffed it.
Sorry to keep you guessing at home. I thought they put an 8 up there. I don't think they
they're
did.
going to call a muff, and I'll explain that to you guys later.
Yep. And we got plenty of time on the halftime show with 46 seconds left to go. But your Trojans, now we've got.
If he had fielded that clean and fumbled it into the end zone, then that would have been the case. But he just touched it, so that's considered a muff. And it's down where that is.
So an old-fashioned touchback starting on the 20-yard line. 46 seconds left to go. So that got a little hairy there for your Trojans, but we came out on top there, or came out even. And Gavin Bisball's going to take it up the middle. I think Coach Smith, just seeing that muff and seeing these conditions, might play it a little safe here with 36 seconds left to go. 2nd and 9 from the 21-yard line. I apologize if you were a little confused at home there. I think
we were
don't feel too bad. I think the fans and the officials and coaches were too. But the score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0, no safety. And here comes the Lake City offense trying to maybe get something on the board here, but not going to go too crazy. Both coaches have their full allotment of timeouts. Maybe Coach Gunsel from Ludington might use one if if he wanted to try and get the ball here as Lake City gets close to a first down. But I think both coaches are content to let this clock run out. We have a 3rd and 9 now. The clock has stopped with
We're gonna
7
call
seconds
timeout,
to go.
Lake City.
So I think Coach Smith has called this timeout. Might have a trick play in his bag, or might just want to tell his guys, hey, let's be safe on this. Let's not let them tackle us inbounds. Let's let this clock expire here. But Coach Smith, you can't take him with you. But he uses his last timeout here with 7 seconds left to go. We'll take a chance just to kind of unpack what happened there. So Ludington punted the ball away, and explain it. You would do a much better job than I would on the rules, Steve. What happened on that last play? If people are at home confused between a safety and what happened there.
Well, what happened is when they punted the ball, our punt returner touched the ball with his hands, but he didn't have control of the football. So when he doesn't have control of the football, that's considered a muff punt. Now, if he'd had control of the football and then fumbled it into the end zone, then it would have been a safety.
Yep. Which is why I think you had, an officials conference.
And that was a good job by the high school
Yep.
officials talking about it and just not making a rash decision, but they got together and they made the correct call.
And so with 7 seconds left to go, the score maintains Ludington 6, Lake City 0. 7 seconds left to go. Lake City's just used their first timeout of the half, and they are going to put it up. Gavin Bisball's going to put up and try and go
Kunkel.
long. Trying to go for Kunkel.
I think that's Kunkel, but I don't know because
That might be Sam Barron.
No, that's 14. That's Grayson
Grayson
Elmquist.
Elmquist.
He's back from the high ankle sprain, but he's not kicking.
Yeah, probably maybe if his ankle hurts, probably doesn't want to kick too much. But they went
so
deeper.
he's playing slot tonight. That's a good sign.
And not realizing, I thought that would easily be the last play of the half. That with the incomplete pass, that stopped the clock with 2 seconds left to go. So 4th and 1 here. And Coach Smith is going to tell Gavin Bisball, just take 2 steps back, make sure the clock expires,
And
take
air it
a
out.
knee. Or he might air it
He's
out.
gonna air it out.
Yep.
Oh.
He likes to keep his foot on the gas. So
Yes,
what do
he
you really got
does.
to lose? Bisball is going to put up there. There's nobody there.
That's all right.
But we will take it. And so some kind of interesting hairy plays there that we kind of had to unpack there. But at the end of the first half, at the end of the day, as we go to half here, the score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0. defender caught the ball, pirouetted and fell into the end zone. It was probably a 3-yard return. And so the trip six gave Ludington a 6-0 lead, and they are getting ready to receive the ball. Your Lake City Trojans are getting ready to receive the ball, start the second half. And just a little bit of delay here. And the kick is off and it's away. It's not very deep. We've had a little bit of some issues fielding tonight. But this is fielded very cleanly. A lot of room to run. A lot of room to run.
Dean Blair,
Breaks a
great
tackle.
job.
Dane Blair breaks a tackle. All looked like he almost broke it down on the far right side there. Lake City's going to be starting on about just shy of their 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line. So a nice way to start the second half.
Looks like we're going to start on the 35-yard line.
35-yard line. So
good return by the sophomore.
just as good as kicking it out of bounds. So 11:51, 9 seconds came off the clock there, and so we're hoping for a big second half here for your Lake City Trojans as they trail 6-0, but they've got the ball with decent field position to start this, what we hope is a big decisive second half here. Bizball in the shotgun, 4 wide, 2 to each side, 1 back next to him. Here comes the snap. He is going to put it up. Different look here. I think
Grayson
that's
Elmquist.
And Elmquist puts it into high gear, but he stopped. That was just a definition of a bubble screen there. They didn't really throw it downfield at all. It was just a quick little out, kind of like a running play. And once again, Coach Smith, first time I think we've seen it this year, going straight to the no huddle. So I almost wonder if he's got a script of what he wants to run here. 2nd and 10, they're calling it. So they're saying Blair didn't get any yards here. And there was a run off the right side. I'm thinking it's Travion Jones. And so some positive yardage there.
Should be 3rd down and short. About 3rd down and 2, it looks like. 3rd down and 1.
Yep, and the scoreboard's having a tough time keeping up as they're going no huddle. They're going to huddle up here for this big 3rd down. They're just about at midfield, so it's definitely that iffy 4-down territory. So it's going to be a 3rd and 2. You were correct. 3rd and 2 from their own 42-yard line. Big early play with 11 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter here. Bizball waits for the snap. Hands it off to, and there's nothing going off of that right side.
That's just a good job by Ludington's defensive end to string that play out and let his linebackers run and rally. We just couldn't set the edge on that play.
I think it was Travion Jones, but there was nothing doing there on that right side, so they actually lost some there. So 4th and 4, Coach Smith is talking to Gavin Bizball.
He's going to punt it away.
He's going to punt it away because I think if he would have got even a yard or 2 on that, he might have went for it. But now facing 4th and 4, he's decided to punt with 10:27 left.
Hey, good decision. Flip the field, and our defense has been playing well. And
really
who knows,
has.
with the weather the way it is, Ludington could have a turnover deep in their territory.
Yeah, we can't stress that enough. We never want to pit units against each other, but the Lake City defense really has played pretty impressively tonight. So facing a 4th and 4, I think Coach Smith is deciding to punt it away. The punt is off. This is
Good
a good
punt by Arger.
Yep. We saw kind of a pop-up. It didn't go very far the first time. This one goes a good distance, and Ludington will be starting on about the 25-yard line, their own 25-yard line.
That's a great punt into that win. You got that spiral action on it and drove the kid out and caught it out of bounds there on the 29-yard line, and now our defense is going to make a stand. So here we go.
9:53 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0. And we'll see if the Lake City defense, this would be a real nice time. As you said, sometimes the finer details of the game get lost sometimes. This would be a real nice time to use that cliche and flip the field. Where you had good field position, you went 3 and out, but by this deep punt by Barger forces them deep. And if they can go 3 and out here,
there's a fumble.
There we go. Snap over the head. And somehow this quarterback's going to make something out of nothing.
That's okay. That's a loss of 5.
It could have been a loss of 10 or 20, but that was a heads-up play. The snap went over the quarterback's head. He quickly retrieved it. You hate to see that sometimes. It just falls right into his hands, and he got some yardage back, but it's going to be a 2nd and 15. So just as good as a false start there. With the down being gone, we now have a 2nd and 15 from the 26-yard line. And just as soon as I'd said the rain looked like it's letting up, it looks like it's coming in pretty hot and heavy again here. So I don't think we're going to see much through the air. So 2nd and 14 is a good down and distance. They put it up.
Oh, what a hit. Great hit by
time
Vanderteek. That is awesome.
A pass out to the flat, and Andrew Vanderteek went out there and got Nathan Gilchrist, the sophomore wide receiver.
Andrew Vanderteek just played that linebacker position perfect. He took 1 step up because that's his job. Take care of the run first. and then he dropped to his flats 100 miles an hour with his head on a swivel and made a great big-time Highland Conference tackle right
And
there.
almost like, people say if the dunk only counts for 2 points, I've never believed that in basketball. A big hit gets your defense fired up, and the sideline was fired up on that big Andrew Vanderteen hit, setting up a big 3rd and 13. And there comes the Lake City defense once
There
again.
we go. We got Park, we got Vasic, we have Schichtel, we have, and they're doing their job. They're doing their job.
And once again, I couldn't tell you if the running back or the quarterback
That was
had
a
it, but it
quarterback.
doesn't matter because neither one of them was going to get that first down on 3rd and 15. And so,
Well, Coach Kent watches this film, win or lose. He's going to be happy with the way his defense is playing right now.
happy with a little bit of the reverse announcer jinx there. I said 3 and out, and we got a 3 and out. We almost got a block there. That's the first time we brought so much pressure. Ludington gets a fortunate bounce on this punt. It's going to go all the way down to the Lake City 25-yard line. So we were the last part of that flip the field equation didn't come through for us there. Is the Lake City punter, I believe that was senior Monty Moore, got it off and got it all the way back to the 25-yard line. But that's football sometimes. Good defense beats good offense sometimes. And got the 3 and out, got them behind the sticks. We were all ready and set up. We actually even went for the punt that time. We brought a lot of heat and a lot of pressure trying to get the block, and the Ludington punter just got it away in a big boom kick. Actually, it wasn't too boomy. It was more of the bounce.
I think a lot to do is with the wind too.
Yeah, it hit the ground, and that thing took off like a missile, bouncing across the field. So your Trojans are in business. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Bisball's going to put it up, put it out to the right side. That was slow developing. The officials have not blown it.
They're calling that a backwards pass,
I don't know
so
if
that
I
would be
agree with
considered
that.
a fumble.
Yep, so there's a live, so that is kind of a very poor way to start this drive. They went to the far side.
One official called a backwards pass,
Looks
which
like
would have
they're-
been a fumble. The other official said no, that was a forward pass. So we're going to be 2nd down and 10. Again, these officials are
Doing their best.
they're doing their best, and they got together and they figured it out, and I think they made the right call.
Yeah,
on
I think
that.
they did too. I try to always be as conciliatory as I can, but when it looked like that official was not blowing it dead, I was like, I don't know about that. That definitely looked like it was moving forward. So no harm, no foul after all is said and done. 2nd and 10, 7:59. Clock stopped on the incompleted pass. Ludington 6, Lake City 0. Bisball in the shotgun. 4 wide, 1 back next to him. Handoff up the middle to, I believe that's Jones. Jones gets a little bit off that dive.
Pick up a 5.
So that'll set up a 3rd and 5.
You know what? Going back to those officials, game's not played unless they're out there.
That's
they take
true.
a lot of
Oh,
heat
yeah.
sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
but I wouldn't want to be out there what they're doing right now. And they're doing a great job tonight. So hats off to the guys in the stripes.
In the shotgun, Bisball, 1 back next to him. Coach Smith on a 3rd and 5 goes up the middle. We've seen that a lot tonight. He really believes
This is going to be close by
It's
the
gonna
spot
depend
on
on
the
the
guy
spot.
on the far side of the field. It looks like we're going to be about
a little short.
6 inches short.
We don't get
Oh,
to
they
it.
called the
They
first
called
down.
the first down. We will take it. We will take it.
And you know what? That's Travion. Offensive line, great job opening a hole. Travion hits a hole hard. He runs, maybe weighs a 140, but he runs like he's 160. His legs didn't stop, and he pushed that pile, and he fought hard and got that first down.
And once again, we hate to always, make it too much of a love fest here, but that is impressive. To go 3rd and 5, deep in your own territory, to go for a run. I mean,
He said he was going to lean on his boys tonight.
It's rainy, but I think that shows you that he really has faith in his guys here to not put it up there. Bisball's going to put it up. He's got a man open.
Oh,
and Ellie and Schichtel just
No, that's
over,
Barger.
just over Barger's head. First time we've called his name tonight. He was open down the far sideline and just a little too far. It reminds me a lot of the Houghton Lake game last year, where there were just passes, just out
off the
reaches of
fingertips. Yep.
Barger's wearing number 8, which is what McGinnis wore, and I think he had 2 or 3 of those misses against Houghton Lake. And these conditions, not to make excuses, just are making it difficult to pass here. 2nd and 10, back to the ground, and the Ludington defense rises up there, and there's going to be virtually no gain there. So we're going to have a 3rd and 10 now. 6:52, and the clock continues to run. Big play here.
Elmquist just checks in, so he'll probably be at the slot. Don't be surprised if we use a little bit of his speed, but he still doesn't look up to full speed with that high ankle sprain, but him at 80% is pretty darn good.
Bisball in the shotgun. This is a big play. 3rd and 10 from their own 35-yard line. 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Bisball is going to throw it. He was looking for Elmquist, just like Steve said. It went over Elmquist's head. It was a little behind him, actually, and that was Monty Moore who got in there and almost got the interception. And so Coach Smith, I think, once again, is going to lean on that defense, 4th and 10. That's a long down and distance. I think we're going to see a lot of a punt. We've said that a lot tonight. And we'll see if we can flip the field just as Ludington just did it on us with a big, deep punt. You said Barger did such an excellent job of punting in to win that time. We hope he can do it again here.
That ball's got to be wet.
Yep.
And it's sliding off Bisball's hands right now. It was a good throw, just released it a little high and slipped off his hands.
And so we have a punt, 4th and 10 from the 35-yard line, 6:26 to go. Barger gets it, who just missed the long reception there. Little end-over-end kick there. Hopefully we get the bounce. We don't. There's no bounce to speak of. It just died right on the ground. And so Ludington will be starting on their own 42-yard line. So nice punt there by Oakley Barger. Not as far as the last one, but we will take that one. I was getting ready to say we didn't get the bounce, but you don't see that every day. That ball just died, hit the ground, and didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, that field's looking a little spongy and muddy out there in the middle.
We might have to clean up that divot that punt just put into there, because I don't think I've ever seen a ball just do that. 6:17 to go. Big play for the Lake City defense here. Big series. You don't want to get this second score on the board. Handoff off to Weinert on that far right side. Very slow developing play. Is going to be stopped for a minimal gain. Can't say enough about the Lake City defense.
Hey, that was
tonight.
slow developing because our defensive end did his job and Jerkison filled the hole. Still set the edge. Set the edge, force everything back inside, and Devin Jerkison was there to make up the cleanup play, and that's why they're not able to get outside, because our defensive ends are doing their job tonight. Park and Schichtel are both playing a great game.
So 2nd and 8 from the 44-yard line. 5:47 left to go in the third quarter. The score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0. Ludington's been in the shotgun all night. Man in motion all night, and just missed the receiver in the backfield, and he's going to get close to first down territory there. That's number 13, Weinert, who's also played quarterback, so very interesting look here. Weinert just escaped the Lake City defender in the backfield. Could have been a loss, turned into a 7 or 8 yard gain, so a 3rd and 2.
Great job by Seeger playing that safety.
Yep.
Look at him right now where he's lined up. He's 12 yards off the ball and come up and made that stop from the safety position for about a 3-yard gain. So that's a great job and a great read by that senior safety.
Big play here at 3rd and 2. I can't imagine Ludington would go for it with a 1-score lead here. So we'll see if the defense can rise up here on 3rd and 2, and just did not. They almost got Weinert on that right side, but he fell forward for the first down.
No, that was a great
tackle too.
That's a great execution by Ludington. They set the edge and they got outside. They got their 3-yard gain, and we have to stick our foot in the ground and bow our necks a little bit, buckle up the chin strap, tighten the belt, and chew on the mouthpiece a little harder to get a stop here.
And that gets Ludington just into Lake City territory on the 46-yard line. Once again, that was a first down, but it wasn't a huge gain. Ludington did what they needed to do there to get it 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. 4:26 to go. Shotgun. Guess a quarterback tonight. They're going to put it up. Hackert's got a wide open screen. Nice defensive play.
Great play. That's a great play by Kiwi. Noah Kiwi did a great job. He shed that stalk block on the outside, stood his ground, settled like he's supposed to, read the lineman go downfield, and snuck in behind those linemen to stop that screen. That could have gone for a long ways if Noah Kiwi doesn't do his job.
That was a jailbreak screen. The jail broke, and our last guard there got in and did an excellent tackle. And you said that was Noah Kiwi who got there. It was a 4-yard gain, but it could have been a lot worse. So 2nd and 6 now from the 42-yard line. 3:47 with the clock running here. Roll the dice and see who the quarterback is here. It's Weinert from the running back position. He's got a lot of room to run off the right side. He's going to pick up the first down. So I hate to say it, as your hometown announcer, you gave us all those things those coaches say. Buckle up the chin straps. That's a Ludington first down. It's about a 20-yard gain. Hopefully this Lake City defense is not getting too tired here, because they got gassed pretty good on that run.
Well, you look at the size of those Ludington offensive linemen, and I hate to say this right now, but those big boys are wearing us down a little bit. We got to get this defense off the field so we can get a little bit of a rest.
1st and 10 from the Lake City 32-yard line. 3:27 left to go in the game.
Fumble.
Mishandled snap. And once again, the breaks are just going Ludington's way tonight. It was on the ground, but it bounced right up into the running back's hand. Fortunately, that will be a 2-yard loss probably, so we're going to have about a 2nd and 12 now. 3:13 and the clock running.
One of these bounces is going to go our way.
Yep,
I can feel it.
Feels like they've gotten every punt bounce. Feels like they've gotten every fumble bounce. So as you said, Steve, just the Murphy's Law of averages. Something's got to go the Trojans' way here pretty soon. 2:58 to go. jet sweep. And once again, if it went to the running back, it was a loss. If it went to the quarterback, it was a loss. Who'd it go to, Steve?
I tell you what, you guys are out there and listening to this are gonna say I'm redundant, but those kids just did exactly what they were taught all week. Vander Teague was the inside linebacker, took the dive guy, and then you had Schichtel and you had the Park boy come down on the jet sweep, and they all did their job. And when they do their job, it's always a negative yard play.
And that negative yards will set up a big 13 and 15. And once again, if it was the running back, if it was the receiver, they both would have been set for a loss. And so a handoff up the middle, nothing doing on 3rd and 15. And now Ludington coach Gunsel's going to have an interesting decision here.
All right, I got to give a shout out to a Big Ugly. That's a great play by Pfeiffer. He did a great job right there. He ripped through the defense, the offensive tackle, and he met the back right in the backfield for another loss. And they're playing good. They're playing good.
And I think Ludington, with this 6-0 lead, is going to play a little conservatively here and go for a punt. Now, this will be interesting here because we don't see too many punts from just about midfield. So it'll be interesting to see how Lake City covers this. Do they bring the heat? It's a 4th and 17. I think Coach Gunsel,
bringing everybody.
He is bringing everybody in.
Almost blocked it.
Looked like he almost got it. And there, sure enough, it was a Ludington bounce. And Lake City, if they're going to do it, is going to have to go 90 yards. This punt's going to be stopped on the 10-yard line. So
our last punt checks up like a Mickelson shot into the green and spins backwards, and their shot looks like mine hitting the green and spinning forward.
Yep. And so with a minute and a half left to go in the 3rd quarter, the score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0. And if Lake City's going to do it on this drive, they're going to have to go 90 yards. But we have been a big strike offense all year. We definitely have the capability to do that. We don't want to talk negatively.
16-play drive last week against Pine River for 85 yards.
Forgot about that. You don't hear 16 plays very often. Gavin Bisbal under center for the first time tonight in the I formation. Stretch play out to, I believe that's Jones on the right side. Jones is going to get some yardage there. But Coach Smith, I think you're exactly right, Steve, saying, all right, I'm going to go back to that 16-yard play. Really old-fashioned, grind it out. Put Gavin Bisbal under center.
Yeah, I think we're going to have Travion at the fullback, and I think we have Blair at the tailback. So we're going to line up an eye a little bit with a tight end look and a wide receiver split out to the right, and we're going to pound the ball at him. But as soon as we say that, what we got now? We still have I formation.
Still got I formation, 2nd and 7 from the 13-yard line. They got 3 yards on that first down play. Bisbal under center. I formation. Straight ahead run up the middle. Not much doing this time. I think that was Blair.
Yes, it was Blair off tackle.
So minimal gain there. And so we'll have one more play before the end of the 3rd quarter here. And this will be an interesting decision for Coach Smith. He's deep in his own territory.
I think he probably runs this play, let the clock run out, and punts with the wind.
Yep, I think you're right. They went no huddle into the eye. You hardly ever see that. So no huddle into the eye. Stretch play out to the right side. Jones broke a tackle or two, but nothing doing down that right side. And your plan for punting with the wind, he needed to stay in bounds. We'll see what the officials do.
He did stay in bounds, but Manistee, Ludington thought the same thing, and they took the timeout, so they're going to force us to punt into the wind.
So Coach Gunsel uses his timeout. The only thing was the net positive that Lake City could take out of that 3 and outs. They did force Coach Gunsel to use that timeout. With the score only being 6-0, you imagine timeouts are going to be of a premium here in the second half. But once again, I think that was definitely we got the coaching. We talk a lot about the players as we should. We got a little bit of the coaching chess match going on here as Coach Smith was content to run that clock out. And Coach Gunsel said, nope, you're deep in your own territory. You're back on the 10-yard line. I'm going to call a timeout and force you to punt into the wind. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see if Oakley Barger can get off a good one. We'll see if we can finally get a bounce here. But this is a crucial, this is the type of play where they're running commercials in a television broadcast and people aren't thinking too much. This is a real crucial field position play right here for Lake City. They really need to get off a good punt here, get off a good defense on the return, and don't give Ludington too good a field position. We've kicked it over Ludington's head a few times tonight. Jacob Rosekrantz on the opening kickoff, and we'll see if Oakley Barger can do the same. So the Ludington receiver is not even at midfield. He's about the 45-yard line, so we'll see what can happen here. Big punt here for Oakley Barger. 12 seconds left to go here. High snap, big punt. Let's get a bounce. And it dies again. And so on about the 40-yard line, Lake City is going to down it. So Ludington's going to have good field position with 2 seconds left to go in the third quarter, so we're approaching one last play before the fourth quarter here. The score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0 with 2 seconds left to go. Ludington head coach Charlie Gunsel has just used his first timeout. Lake City has their full allotment. And so 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Don't want to get caught napping here on this 2-second play here.
Yeah, remember last week?
Yeah, I think that happened last week. So we don't want to get caught napping here. Wouldn't be surprised maybe.
Coaches running quarters. You thinking they're going to throw the ball? So we're playing a 4 deep secondary.
Perfect.
Perfect.
They run it. Nice play by the defense. So minimal gain there takes us to the end of the third quarter with the score Ludington 6, Lake City 0. That score is not indicative of a very action-packed, well played, not a lot of penalties, well played game here. We will take a full 1-minute break, allow us to catch our breath, and on the other side of this break, we will have the fourth quarter of action where your Trojans trail the Ludington Orioles 6-0 here on the exclusive home for Lake City Trojan boys and girls basketball and football. 93.7 FM The Ticket. Turnover.
Oh, something's going to happen.
Oh, I threw my can away.
Can of what?
I was going to steal your Kodiak.
For what?
I don't have a spitter.
Spit in that.
All right. You not drinking it anymore?
Welcome back, Trojan Nation. The Ludington Orioles will play it in on their Lake City 40-yard line. They got good field position off that punt. There is a big sack. The Ludington coaches are not very happy. That's what we need to start this big fourth quarter, trailing 6-0. We were just saying in the break, we're one play away. It feels like one of those games where turnover's coming, and we will gladly take that. And I forgot that was the second play of the down. So that's a huge play. So it's third and 15. So this is a huge play early in this fourth quarter. 11.5 minutes to go. The clock continues to run. It is 3rd and 15 off of Elian Schichtel's big sack, and we're going to have a legal movement or something. I'm not sure what that was. And the flag finally comes out. Everybody was kind of staring at each other.
Everybody moved except the center, so I'm safe to say this. I think the center didn't know the snap count.
And so it's going to be now a 3rd and 20 with 11:19 to go.
I would not be surprised if you watch Coach Kemp play a little man-to-man and bring some pressure here.
Try and back them up even further, because they were probably.
I think they would have went for it, but
they
now
were
if they don't get
sniffing
this,
on
I
4-down
think they're
territory.
going to punt.
Exactly, they were sniffing 4-down territory.
So we're locked up. We're locked up man-to-man down here.
3rd and 20. Bradley Seeger deep center field here. Punt over the quarterback's head. A snap.
Another
over the
one.
quarterback's head.
Where to bounce to?
Right into their hands. So Ludington's getting all the bounces and all the breaks tonight, but we will take this break as we now have a 4th and probably 25 or 30. And Ludington went from 4-down territory to start the fourth quarter to punting. So what a turn of events.
And punting into the wind.
Punting into the wind, facing a 4th and 29, 10:40, and the clock running. This is a huge special teams play here. With this down a distance, I would bring everybody to try and get this punt away. A low punt. And son of a gun. That punt didn't probably go 6 feet off the ground, but when it hit the ground, it took off for probably a 15-yard bounce. So 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line, 10:23 to go. We've been saying Lake City feels like they're one play away, and boy, it feels like they've gotten close on these last few plays, and they just haven't quite been able to get it. Let's see if they can get it on what we hope is a big decisive drive with 10:23 left to go in the contest. Trailing Ludington 6-0. Bisbal in the shotgun, little sweet pass out to Jones. Nice play by Ludington defense. Not much you can do there. That's going to be dropped for a little bit of a loss.
That's that speed you were talking about earlier before the broadcast, and they're flowing to the ball really quick. So don't be surprised if coach throws a counter in at these guys, because right now they are fast to the ball.
No huddle once again. Bisball in the shotgun, one back next to him. Fakes a handoff, tries to go over the middle, well over the head of Elliott Schichtel, and nothing was going on there. I don't know if he would have been able to catch it. That was actually a good play by Gavin Bisball to throw it that high, to be honest with you. Put it where only he could get it because he was well covered. So very quickly, after the big play, 9:58 to go, we're facing a 3rd and 10 in our own territory. I don't know. Do you think Coach Smith would go for it if he got 5 or 6 here?
Nope, I think he'll punt it away and
Trust
let his
that
defense do his
So,
job. Yep.
3rd and 10, 9:58 to go in the contest. Lake City trailing 6-0. Bisball with the handoff to Jones off of the right side, and nothing doing on that side. So I don't know if fatigue is setting in a little, if the Ludington defense has figured some stuff out. But that was a very quick 3 and out for your Lake City Trojans. 4th and 10 from the 28-yard line.
That Ludington defense has made an adjustment. They started out in a 3-5 look, and now they're playing a 4-3 look, and they're taking that outside away from us because that's where we have been taking advantage of them. And Coach Smith will see that. The guys upstairs will see that and relay it down to the sidelines, and they'll make an adjustment before the next series.
So 9:24 and ticking. Clock will become an issue now. Lake City has their full allotment of timeouts. Ludington only has 2, but Lake City is going to punt it away here. They're on their own 28-yard line. Oakley Barger has been punting very well tonight. Hasn't got much in the way of bounces. And the Ludington defender came up very aggressively and fielded that. And once again, that could have been trouble. I bet Coach Gunsel from Ludington's heart skipped a beat there. The Ludington receiver came up and fielded at his knees. Tried to get some extra yards there. That was Jacob Ireland.
That's a good job by that young man, though. That's what they're taught to do. You got to catch that ball in the air so it doesn't hit the ground. If it hits the ground, it could have bounced another 20, 25 yards.
And so Ludington will have decent, not great field position, but decent field position. 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line with 8:59 to go. So this would be a real nice time for a real quick 3 and out here for Lake City. As the clock is starting to not become our friend.
Fumbled again.
Fumble
That's our
on
ball.
the ground,
That's
and it
Lake City's
looks like
ball.
Lake
There we
City
go. We got the
has
bounce we
it.
needed
So
right there.
finally,
We got the bounce.
The change that Lake City needs happened.
So
They
now we
fumbled
got,
by Ludington.
we got 1st and 10 on their 39-yard line. So
in business.
the pigskin finally bounced our way there.
Finally bounced our way. And that was just looked like a fumbled exchange between the quarterback and the receiver, and I did not get the number on the recovery, but whoever it was quick because there was not much debate there. It fell right into his arms, and just as quickly as I say that, the Lake City offense is out on the field, and I think Coach Smith wants to go with pace, wants to go quickly, get his foot on the gas here. He's got the ball on the Ludington 39-yard line with 8:54 left to go in the game. Lake City's been the beneficiary of one of the first big turnovers their way tonight. Bisball takes the snap. He is going to put it up. He's going to go for it all. And unfortunately, well, I thought it might have been intercepted. Looked like it fell incomplete there. Look, the Lake City receiver, I'm going to guess it was Elmquist possibly.
I think that's Barger. So we were on a straight fly pattern to Barger, and you know that ball's wet because that ball went right through their defensive back's hands.
Looked like Barger fell down, and I was getting ready to say, and that's an unfortunate turnover. And
that's Coach Smith's style. They'll get a turnover. We're going to try to capitalize on it right away.
Go up top. 2nd and 10. A little bit of a hole here up the middle for Travion Jones. He continues to move those feet, move those legs. He's going to make something out of nothing, get 4 or 5 there. With this time and this down and distance, most definitely 4 down territory. So 3rd and 7 with 8.5 minutes to go and the clock running. Lake City has slowed down a little, probably understanding the gravity of these plays.
And he's got 2 plays to get 7 yards. So I wouldn't be surprised you see another run play here, get 3 or 4, and then
you're going to go for the big one. But they do go a huddle this time, so they are slowing down their pace just a little. Trips to the right, 1 out wide to the left. Bisball in the shotgun, 1 back next to him. Snap is up, and you were exactly right, Steve. There is a huge hole for Travion Jones, and I think that is a 1st down. We'll wait for the signal here.
Oh, they're going to mark us about 3 inches short, 4th down.
Oh, my goodness. So this is a huge capital.
That's a great job, though, there.
Yeah.
We spread them out.
3rd and 7.
Left side of our line, caved everybody down, got that yards they need. I wouldn't be surprised to watch them spread them out again.
Yeah, we got to do it again because we're sitting here at a 4th and 1.
We're going
play of the game. 4th and 1, 30-yard line.
Quarterback sneak.
Bisball's under center, and it is a quarterback sneak, and it's a sneak and then some, probably a 4 or 5. All Gavin's got to do is fall forward with his 6'6" frame, but he fell forward and then someone picked up 3 or 4 yards there, and that is a move the chains Classic Chevrolet, all roads lead to Classic. First down in business on the 26-yard line. So Gavin Bisbal picks up 4 yards.
And that might be the
on the 4th and 1.
biggest Classic Chevrolet first down
I
of the
would
night right
agree.
there. It wasn't a big long yardage, but it was a big one we needed.
They needed it. And that was some guts from Coach Smith. They haven't run a quarterback sneak all night, but I think he saw something over the center there, and they got it. So first and 10, 26-yard line. Travion Jones up the middle. He has got a big room to run. He's going to be close to a first down once again. 6:57 in the clock running, and that is another Classic Chevrolet. Move those chains. All roads lead to Classic, and Lake City's going with speed and pace. No huddle here. Bisbal in the shotgun. They've got Ludington on their heels here a little bit. They are in the red zone, and they do make a little bit of adjustment, but Travion Jones keeps moving those feet as he goes up the middle. He's going to get positive yardage there.
That's a pickup at 3, and you get 3, you get 3, you get 3, you get 3. That's 12. That's a first down.
Yep, and so 2nd and 9, but we are in the red zone. Haven't been able to say that in quite a while. I think we said it once or twice early in the game, but we are in the red zone with 6:28 left to go in the contest. Full allotment to timeouts. 2nd and 9 from the 14-yard line. 6:22 in the clock ticking. 4 wide. Bisbal in the shotgun. 1 back next to him.
Go.
They're going to keep running it, and there is a hole, and that defense closes very quickly because I'm getting ready to say that he's going to pay dirt, but they close very quickly. That was Travion Jones once again. We'll see where they down him because he never stops moving his legs.
It'll be 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5 from the 10-yard line. 5:56 to go. They're going to run it, and we're going to have a play stoppage here, which unfortunately usually means only the offense, so I think they went just a little too quick there. False start on the Lake City Trojans. So that is a penalty at the very worst time. So I do find it interesting that Grayson Elmquist is running around here on the sideline with the ball in hand. And Coach Smith has probably got a difficult decision. We haven't seen Elmquist kicking, but with Ludington only having 6 points, if Lake City can punch it in here, I think Coach Smith got a big decision. Do I try and kick it in on my guy with a hurt ankle, or do I go for 2? So it's going to be, well, let's not get the cart ahead of the horse here, as we've got a 3rd and 10 now from the 15-yard line. Is that penalty? We've got receivers, a little bit of confusion here offensively. Running over to the other side, Bisbal takes the snap. He's going to put it up. He's got a man open in the end zone, but nobody could have caught it there. It went out of bounds, and so now we have a big 4th and 10 with 5:40 left to go in the game. They were going on a fade. I believe that was to Oakley Barger on that side. Barger, excuse me. 5:40 left to go in the game. 4th and 10. So real big decision time here for Coach Smith. He went for it all on 3rd down, and now he's got to go for it all again on 4th and 10 on the 15-yard line. 5:40 left to go. 4 wide, 2 to each side. 1 back next to Bisbal. Bisbal waiting for the snap. Fakes the handoff. Goes over the middle.
That was knocked down by the
Ludington
player. Yep.
Ludington defender.
Lucky that defensive lineman knocked that down because our kid was open in the end zone.
I would agree with that.
We got a flag on the play, though.
Waiting for a signal here. I don't know if we had a flag or a football flying through the air there.
Nope, they picked it up, waved it off.
So 1st and 10 for Ludington. The only solace you can take out of that disappointing turn of events for the Lake City Trojans, they have their full allotment of timeouts. 5.5 minutes to go, and the Ludington Orioles are on the 15-yard line, and this is the time, once again, for the Lake City defense to come up big here. Coming off of that 4 and out there, deep in the
There it is.
The snap is well over the quarterback's
That's a safety.
head, and we're waiting for the
That's
signal
a safety.
here. And I think they are
gonna
calling
call him down on the half a yard
inch line.
Yeah, maybe an inch line.
Yeah,
oh my
goodness.
moly. I would.
And I don't know what do you want as a coach, Steve? With 5:29 left to go, would you want a safety?
I want them right where they're at.
I was gonna say I think I would rather take him on this 1 inch yard line because 2 points really doesn't do too much for you. So the snap went well over the quarterback's head. Unpack what happened there. There was some sauce on that one that went over the quarterback's head, and it's a 3rd and 25 from the 1 inch yard line now for Ludington, and so Lake City's going to bring the house here and hopefully try and get a safety or keep him down. And the Lake City defense is playing very inspired here. A lot of dancing, jumping around. They're asking for another safety on this pitch to the right side, and we got an officials conference here to see if there is one.
Stop it!
5:17 left to go in the game. We've got an officials conference here. I don't believe this is a safety. So if they're on the 1-inch yard line, they're now on the 2-inch yard line.
They're doing a good job talking it over, though, and not making a rash decision. They're going to figure out where the ball was spotted and where the guy put his foot down, and they're going to stop the clock, even though the Ludington coaching staff doesn't like that. And now they're going to wind the clock like they're supposed to. And
so it's 2nd and 25, and it's going to say 2nd and 25 because if it goes to 2nd and 26, that means it's safety. So 3rd down and 25, excuse me. Clock is running now with 4:54 to go. Big play. You don't want to give up something big here. Keep them in the shadow of their own end zone. Snap is off. They give it to the running back. Nothing doing up the middle. So 4th and probably 23, 24. I wonder if Coach Smith would be tempted to burn a timeout. He's going to keep him in his back pocket.
Keep him in his pocket and be ready to run that offense.
Let's see if we can finally get that big break. We've got a few of them here late, but Ludington's going to be punting from deep in their own end zone. He won't be able to even take his normal walk off here.
That was a great job by our defensive line and our linebackers filling downhill and securing the tackles and putting Ludington in a bad situation right now.
Gabriel Artis is going to go very deep, try to keep everything in front of him here, and it's a very short punt, and we finally get a decent bounce. And so where are we? We are on about the 25-yard line, if my eyes are correct, with 4 minutes left to go in the game.
Got a short field.
Very, very short field for your Lake City Trojans. 4 minutes to go, 3 timeouts, trailing 6-0. It feels like we have been knocking on the door of taking the tying score and maybe taking the lead for about 20 minutes here. We'll see if the Trojans can finally put a bow on it and put it in the end zone here. They got 4 minutes to go, and they are on the 23-yard line of Ludington.
I would not be surprised to watch us run the ball, take time off the clock, and tie this game up just before the end of the game.
Bisbal in the shotgun, 4 wide. And there it is, the handoff to Jones. Not much doing off the left side there. Clock will continue to run. Bisball's going to come, so we're not going to see any no huddle here. Well, they're going to go a little quicker. But Bisball's going to get the play from Coach Smith on the sideline, running into the huddle. So no huddle. Clock continues to run. 3:40 left to go in the game. The score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0. 2nd and 9 now from the 22-yard line. It's Jones only got 1 off of the left side there. 4 wide. One of the receivers is extremely wide on this right side, almost the sideline. They're going to run a little bit of a reverse here, and unfortunately that trick play is going to come up empty. It's going to be fumbled. It's going to be picked up by the Ludington Orioles. So Coach Smith went into the bag of tricks, and it came up empty there as they were going on a reverse, I think, to Elian Schichtel. And on this wet, dreary, cold night, the exchange from a running back to a receiver, which they don't get to practice often, came up empty. And so with 3:20 to go, Ludington gets another big break. They will start this possession with 3:21 left to go in the game on the 32-yard line.
Plenty of time. Don't have to panic. Get a stop here and we're okay.
3 timeouts. 3:21 to go. Ludington's going to run a play up the middle.
Gabe Bostic right there from his outside linebacker position. Met him in the hole. Gain of 2.
So I'm going to give you the score and time a little fast and furious here as it's getting important. We're going to be probably about under 3 minutes to go by the time this next one is snapped. The score is Ludington 6, Lake City 0. 2nd and 6 from the Ludington 36-yard line. I can't imagine Ludington would go for it in 4-down territory here, so these next 2 plays are huge. 250. I think Coach Smith probably would use one here if he gets a stop here. Ludington is taking their sweet time. Get the ball. They're going to run up the middle. Almost a fumble, but more of a trip. And so stop for negative yards and just
That's a good job by Pfeiffer filling his gap, that defensive lineman in that running back trip, because he wanted to plant his feet because his hole wasn't there, and Pfeiffer made a great job, and now we call a timeout. It's 3rd down and 7, and this will be a big key play right here.
And Coach Smith uses his first timeout, meaning he has 2 left in this half in the game. And so on the other half of this timeout, it's going to be 3rd and 7. This is a huge play. I don't think Ludington really wants to roll the dice too much where they're at with a 6-0 lead. So if like you've said, you talked about discipline and staying, knowing your role all night.
Do our job here, and I think we're going to get the ball back.
And so one more chance, well, hopefully more than one. You never know with the way the ball is bouncing tonight in these wet conditions. But if we can get this stop on 3rd and 7, from the Ludington 35-yard line, get the ball back, maybe maintain 2 or 1 timeouts, depending on what Coach Smith decides to do. With 2:35 left to go in the game, this is a big, big play, and I feel like we've said that a lot tonight. I should get out the thesaurus to come up with some different adjectives. This is a key play for your Lake City defense. 3rd and 7, 2:35 to go in the game. They are going to run it, and there's a lot of room to run up the middle, and that is a first down, and that is sophomore quarterback Chase Hacker, and that is not what you wanted to see coming out of that timeout. They faked it to the receiver coming off the edge. Almost all of their plays start that way. Quarterback ran off the right side, gets past midfield, gets a first down, and this is real gut check time for
Yeah,
the
we
Lake City
gambled a
defense.
little bit on defense there, and we blitzed into the A gap, and they ran to the B gap, and sometimes that's what happens when you run a blitz. But our blitzes have been working all night, so why not dial it up again?
2:18 and the clock running. 2 timeouts left for Lake City, so they really got to get a 3 and out now as Ludington is about right shy of midfield. We're going to call it right on the 49-yard line. And so this is some real big moment here for the Lake City defense to try and get them to punt or go 4 and out here. Ludington is taking their sweet time and they bring the house once again. And the running back's going to try and stay up, keep that clock running. We'll see what Coach Smith elects to do with these timeouts. He does use his second timeout, which will stop the clock with 1:47 left to go after this timeout. So Coach Smith will probably elect with 1:47 left to go in the game to see if the Trojans can get the stop here on 3rd down.
He'll
Hopefully force them back even and make the decision all the more easy for the Ludington coach. But I imagine Coach Smith will burn that last time out, so we'll be looking at maybe.
We'll probably get the ball back with just a minute or just under a minute to go with no timeouts, and we've been there before. We're running an all-huddle offense, so well, if we can get a stop here, we're gonna have one more shot at it.
Yep. So 1:47, 2nd and 9, right at midfield from the 50-yard line. Ludington's been in the shotgun all night. 2nd and 9, 1:47, waiting for the snap. Snap is up. Hacker will roll to the right, cuts it up the middle. He gets some positive yardage, but he does not get the first down. Probably picks up 4 or 5 there. Coach Smith very quickly burns that last timeout, so we are down to 0. 0 on our scoreboard, 0 on the timeouts. The score is Lake City 6, Ludington 6, Lake City 0, 1:40 left to go in the game. 3rd and 5. What is Coach Kent and Coach Smith telling their guys in this sideline huddle? We've said it a lot, but there's no other way to slice it.
What they're saying right now, they're saying we hold them here so we can get the ball back and have a chance to score. That's all they're talking about. Do your job, get the ball back. We'll let offense take care of itself. But first things first, get the ball back right now.
And they really, if you're Coach Smith, you're really hoping that this 3rd and 5 gets Coach Gunsel from Ludington gets his eyes a little big and maybe, just maybe, gambles by putting it up and stops the clock one more time for you. Maybe tries to throw here to get this first down. But 3rd and 5, 1:40 to go. So
I wouldn't be surprised with a little screen pass. They've been pretty successful with that jailbreak screen.
Yep. We'll see what they do here. They're just going to run Hackert off to the right side. He's got a lot of room to run, but I think he's going to be tackled right at the sticks. We'll see what the
He's going to mark him
do.
a yard short. It's going to be 4th and 1.
Wow.
Here it is.
Here is the game.
Gut check time.
Yep. 4th and 1. The clock will continue to run. Lake City is out of timeouts.
Hey, let's go for it.
They're going for it.
They are going to go for it. I think that might be the correct decision. Oh, we'll take it, especially if we can stop them. But with 1:12 and the clock continuing to run in a 6-0 lead, looks like Ludington is going to go for it. They have 2 timeouts left. I wonder if this could be just a little bit of a draw off here with one, or maybe get a little more breathing room for a punt. But big play here. 4th and 1, 42-yard line. Here it comes. The play of the game. I think they are going to draw us off. So I set it up and tried to hype it up, and I don't think they're going to do anything. And we are down to 47 seconds left to go, and Ludington does use the timeout. I was wondering if they were going to take the delay of game and try and punt it away, but I think he's going to take the timeout, and he's going to talk to his guys.
Looks like their punting unit's coming out, so we're going to get one more chance. And we've been going no huddle all night, so
it's going to be a chance, but we that's all you want. It's the old cheesy Jim Carrey Dumb and Dumber line. So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
47 seconds left to go. This reminds me a little bit of the McBain game of last year where
I was
where
just gonna
pulled
say
the
that.
rabbit out of the hat and did not seem like it was going to happen. Things look pretty bleak in that Roscommon game as well. About the only one we've got going away.
Hey, and our JV game was 8-6 last
Really?
night.
Really?
And Ludington won that, so maybe
Oh,
we
man.
could turn the table.
Turn the table.
Score 8.
Win 8-6. So 4th
Oh, they're
and
going
1.
for it.
They
They're not
are
punting.
going for it. 47 seconds left to go. They're going to run Hackert off the right side. I think he got it, but just barely. So the Lake City defense did their job, and I think he's going to get it. It's going to come down to the spot, though. I shouldn't get the cart ahead of the horse here.
The spot on the far side
Looks
short, but they're not spotting where the guy's standing. That's a first down, so they're going to be able to
Still
kneel
waiting
on
for
it.
those
and-
chains. They're jumping into each other's arms over there. The officials are still talking, and there go the chains. So we'll wait for the clock to wind here. With no timeouts, that will just about do it for your Lake City Trojans. 40 seconds. There's really not much they can do except hope for a fumble or something, and I don't think Ludington even has to come up to the line. I don't think they're going to do it. And that will conclude the game. So, unfortunate way, dramatic way, not dramatic in the way we want it, but an unfortunate way for the game to end tonight for your Lake City Trojans. The clock is going to continue to run here. I think we're going to have a little bit of a penalty because I'm never good with down the distance in time. But the game will conclude 6-0. So not a lot of scoring, but there was a lot of action. We will take a full 1-minute break or whatever we need to get the rest in our sponsors. And on the other side of this break, we'll have a very brief post-game show for you here on the exclusive home for the Lake City Trojans, who unfortunately lost tonight 6-0 to the Ludington Orioles. But we'll have a brief post-game show for you after the other half of this break.